Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I get most of us are in the evening. Welcome. I can see we have visitors here, members. Our honorable guests are also here. We are now starting our program for today, which is a very tight, but we hope we're gonna keep time and won't keep you long. And we have the secretary here with us, as well as the board members. And we also have our honorable guests from the cooperative and our auditor, as well as from the embassy from the Kenyan embassy in Germany, Berlin. So welcome everyone. I'm going to start off, if the secretary can hear me loud and clear, to go through the program. Let me know whether you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So we're gonna go straight to the program of the day. And as you can see, we will start with a word of prayer. And Milka, if you're ready, you can get us started with a word of prayer there, and then we'll play the national anthem.
Okay, thank you, Joy. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Let's just give thanks. Father, in Jesus' name, we want to thank you for this opportunity to be together as AWE's Diaspora SACCO. We thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for bringing us together this Sunday. We ask that you would bless us and that you would be with us even as we go through this AGM. Lord, we ask for the spirit of wisdom. We ask for your guidance. Lord, whatever we'll deliberate here, God, it will be something that will be beneficial to every member of this SACCO, God. We thank you for giving us all good health. We thank you for protecting us and watching over us. And we commit the entire meeting into your hands. We ask for your leading. And at the end of it, God, we shall be careful to give you thanks. We commit this SACCO into your hands. You started with us. And we thank you for this far you have brought us. And we even thank you for the far that you will take us. We thank you and we honor you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. So we're going to start off with the anthem, national anthem, and I hope you can all sing with us as well. And the wording is also there, and it's going to go for another few minutes. Thank you. So we're going to go straight, as our agenda says, we're going to read the AGM notice, as well as reading and confirming of a previous meeting and matters arising from a previous meeting led by our secretary, Honorable Secretary Lydia Minor. If you're there, let me know.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I'll share on the screen as well, so that everybody else can also see with that. Okay.
Dear honorable members, reference annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that an annual general meeting of our Diaspora Saving and Credit Cooperative Society Limited is conveyed and will be held on Sunday, the 30th April 2023 at Zoom conference online meeting starting from 19-hour Kenya time. Zoom details. Register in advance for this meeting ID as follows. After registering, you will receive a confirmation email containing information about joining the meeting. Agendas are: number 1, note attendance and apologies. Number 2, consider and confirm the minutes of the last second AGM held on 19th June 2022 on virtual Zoom at 19-hour Kenya time. Third agenda is to receive, consider, and adopt the audited financial accounts for the period ended 31st December 2022 and thereby. The fourth agenda, consider and approve the proposed budget for the year 2023. The fifth agenda, to consider report of board. Number 6, resolution to give loans to members. Number 7, borrowing powers from cooperative bank. Number 8, election of vice chairperson and treasurer. Number 9, to appoint an external auditor for the year 2023. And the last one, number 10, any other business of the society in which notice has been given. By order of the Board of Directors, please see attached audit report. I'm Lydia Maina.
Okay. So the next in the agenda, as we had discussed earlier, we will just go ahead and give the report from the chair, that's me. And I'm just going to put up my presentation just shortly. But I want to thank everyone who have arrived today and those ones who are listening. First of all, want to thank our guests of honors who are here with us. And starting from our honorable the ambassador Esther, and we're also Esther Nyambura Mungai from the Kenya Embassy Berlin, and also Mr. Eugene Makoha, the Assistant Director, State the Department of Diaspora Affairs. And also we have a representative, we had put Fondo, but we have now one of the officer here with us, and from the Ministry of the Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And also our auditor, Mr. Wilson Yamosi from Ronald LLP, board members, supervisory committee, my fellow members, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Just to put my video on so that you can see me as well. Yes, on my behalf and that of the Board of Management, I would like to express my appreciation to you all for having spared time to attend the third annual general meeting for the society virtually, when you could have chosen to be elsewhere attending to your own other equally important matters. We thank the Almighty God for the blessings of life and good health, and for his mercy and grace that we are here today. Today is a special AGM. For the first time, we have opened the meeting to the public. For this reason, I would like to share briefly who we are. I'll do a very short presentation to give you an idea of who we are, why we how we started and where we are right now and the vision behind what we are doing. Just to share my screen. So our Diaspora SACCO, as you can see there, we are very vibrant. We have never followed us. We're a very vibrant group, over 10,000 women all over Europe. But a few of us, during the 10th anniversary, we decided we want to invest back at home. And SACCO came as one of the biggest opportunity for us to go invest in Kenya, starting from where the majority of the members were coming from. And about us, we have, as you know, some of you don't know about the Credit and Service Cooperative, or we have the SACCO is registered in Kenya, and it was registered in October 5th, 2020. The registration is in accordance with the Cooperative Society Act, Cap 490 of the Cooperative Society. And our SACCO was founded and registered by our Kenya members with the aim of as well as women, which is very important to acknowledge here, living in Europe, to collectively invest in Africa as a group and support entrepreneurs by offering easy access to credit as the diaspora, and also create generation wealth. Our vision is to be the best trusted institution solution for our members, as well as the best financial solutions for entrepreneurs in Kenya, to be part of Kenya economic development with the aim of eradicating poverty and creating jobs and supporting entrepreneurs. Which is one of our biggest aim. And our vision, of course, which is very clear to most of our members, and we try to make it very clear that to mobilize savings provided affordable credit to our members' businesses, and to ensure optimal return through a customized product that meet our members' needs. At the same time, create jobs and eradicate poverty in the country, which is a very important mission because SACCOs are owned by members, which is very, very important for all our members to know all the decisions come within with our members. Our core value is to integrity, timelessness, transparency, teamwork, professionalism, and respect for others whichever life we touch throughout our activities. As you can see, our logos are very clear. We have two. We have actually changed. We have a new look right now to really emphasize we're encouraging men to be part of us. As you can see, we are cooking a pot, not only us alone as women. We also want to encourage the men as well to join us. And we have really given an update of our logo. So this is our current logo is similar, only a part of just emphasizing a few things. Some of you who don't know what is SACCO. It's very important, and we see this quite a lot, and we do through training. And it's good to also emphasize what is a SACCO, which is, as you can see, the Savings and Credit Cooperative is an association of like-minded individuals registered under the Ministry of Cooperative Development and Marketing in Kenya, and authorized to take deposit from and lend to its members. SACCOs are governed by SACCO bylaws, which state the objectives, membership, share capital, organization structure, management, and leading regulations. The sector is regulated by the SACCO Society regulators, not all the SACCOs, but some of the SACCOs are regulated by SASRA, which is just started not very long ago. The Kenya support in Diaspora SACCOs is a very big movement, and that's how the SACCOs that you see Diaspora joined started not long ago. As you can see, there's this statement that we got that emphasized it's important to start SACCOs like what we have done, and the importance of the country, Kenya, the government wants to encourage more of this. The savings mobilization is expected to double in the next few years, arising from registrations of SACCOs of Kenyans in the diaspora. The initiative is aimed at offering Kenyans in the diaspora a venue for remitting savings in a structured manner and facilitate effective intermediate between savings and investment. And so at the same time, the savings so mobilized. We'll provide a pool of funding to facilitate investments and locally as well. This will in a way limit reliance on donor funding. That would also is a way of really supporting, because some of us, when we save, we also support through the government bonds and in different way when we go investing in the country. For the particular, some of you are wondering what are the aims and the goals of long-term goals and short-term as well. Of course, our short-term goal is giving out loans, which we have already started, initiated it as well. So our members are able to borrow loans. We are also looking at partnering with SMEs, opening businesses, companies as well as in the beautiful way of putting it, because that was something of our members wanting to own homes. So we have like an our diaspora homes where we can retire and even stay together as well. At the same time, also investing in property and real estate as well. Also, how to become a member: you have to have a Kenyan ID or a passport, a KRA as well. You need a number, passport size photo, proof of physical address, your biography, and read the Constitution, which is a very important document, which we emphasize all the members who join our SACCO to read the Constitution, to understand how SACCOs work. And of course, our membership, as you can see, it's quite reasonable at the moment. We're going to change this as well. We did say we're going to change, but we are insisting because we want to encourage you to come. Some shares will go up again. You can see we have a registration non-refundable, which is 20,000 Kenyan shillings. Your minimum of 5 shares, which is each is 1,000. This is going to change very soon, as well as members, once we all agree on that minimum monthly payment of 5,000. This is so important because being a member, we need you to keep consistent sending money every time so that we can be able to invest in a proper ways. All these we work together with a cooperative bank that help us to do that. So I just wanted to chip in there, so that those people who are joining us now and listening, they can also get to know a little bit of who we actually are and where we are heading to. As you listen and learn about us, I want to welcome all the new members, encourage you to join us as our member, to join our meeting as I go on now with our report for this evening. And I'm going straight to the economic and political highlights. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to acknowledge that the government of Kenya has recognized the diaspora. We now have our own diaspora PS, Madam Roslyn Jogu and the team under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora. And one of their 6.0 mandate is to harness diaspora savings, facilitate FDI and technologies transfers, which is the number 5, where diaspora SACCOs like ours matters will be addressed. I must confirm they have met leaders of the Diaspora SACCO and formed a technical committee where I'm part of the team, where we'll be following up with issues that affect us SACCOs as leaders as we mobilize all this investment. Why is this department important for us as individual, as a Diaspora SACCO? Most of our issues were not taken seriously before. With their support, we are happy to inform you our savings and investments will be even more protected, and with the cooperative of them and the Ministry of the Cooperative Department. Now going to the area of the membership summary. Our SACCO has been consistent with a slight increase of members this year. I could have been better. We are now 20 members as of today. Last year we had 11 inactive members and 8 dormant members. We will follow very strictly on the SACCO savings policies, which we encourage all of you members to go and read the saving policies, which is on our website. And I'll ask one of our members here, to our board members, to put the website on on the chat. We will also work on the dormant members, how to deal with that as members in the 2023. We'll be following up with you to see how we can encourage you to continue saving the minimum savings that we have. We have different kind of savings, as you have seen, and so we encourage members to also continue doing that more of now that we have been given confirmation. About the board members and members' education, the SACCO invested in board members' education to be able to lead the SACCO with good governance. That was really our first mandate, that we wanted to make sure that when we lead the SACCO, we understand the laws and the principles of running the SACCO. And all our trainings are now recorded, especially those ones we did the members, and members can revisit on their own time. The board will create an independent advisory committee, which is also very important for us to continue advising us and this is part of today's acknowledgement of the advisory committee. About the information and technology, our Diaspora SACCO operates purely online. As you can see, we are virtual here, and we have a website with all information that continue to be updated frequently. That is www.awesacco.eu. We have a WhatsApp group where we communicate with all the members. We also are on social media platform. Our members, our meetings are held on Zoom and recorded. We also have a blog on our website where we share news of what is happening in the country, so that we keep connected, especially when it comes to investments and things, updates. The SACCO has invested in technology of transparency, which was one of our main vision as well, of members' funds. We have members can now access their account through the Quora app, which was recently updated. So I'm asking the members to make sure that they update their Quora app. And all members were requested to do that when we were going throughout, and we shared the links, and also through your emails. On the app, you can now apply for loans, which is now going to be active, as well as see your savings, how much you send, and if you qualify also for loans. And very soon, we are hoping that the app is going to be able to do all the transfer of money. Right now, we are doing it externally with the money transfers, but the Quora is also working very hard to make sure that it's incorporated. Although right now, if you have a bank in the cooperative bank, you can be able to send that directly or through M-Pesa. So this is also available on our platform on the Quora app. Members' funds and financial performance. Our Diaspora SACCO Cooperative Limited report of the management committee for the year end 31st December 22. The management committee submits its report and audited financial statement of the year ended 31st, which shows the state of this the society financial affair. We send you the report as well. Principal activity of the society is to prompt thrift amongst its members by offering them an opportunity to accumulate their savings and to create thereby a source of funds from which loans can be made to them exclusively for provident and productive purpose at fair and reasonable rate of interest. The results for the year will be shared shortly by the auditor. Dividends in the management, according to the management committee, does not propose dividend payout this year. So this is something that it's something that's a work on progress, as we all discussed in the last meeting. And the auditor, the Society Auditor, Mr. Nyamosi Associate, has expressed his willingness to continue in the office in accordance with the Kenya Cooperative Society Amended Act 2008. So we are proposing him to also continue. And the budget also is going to for 2023 is going to be read shortly as well by the treasurer. So my work here today is to really give you the vision of the 2023, which you all agree we have really gone through high and low. The SACCO is now 3 years old since we officially started. Recently, during the board meeting at the cooperative with his Honorable David Obonyo and his team, it was confirmed to be operating under the Ministry of Cooperative until the SACCOs mature enough to join SASRA. This is very important to make sure new members and everybody else know that we are operating officially with the permission from the cooperative, because we registered with the cooperative. We still have our certificates there until we mature. It is with this reason we are fully operation and active members, women and men, to join the SACCO. When we say active members, we mean to regular saving payment only then we can achieve our short-term goals, especially to give out loans. We need the consistencies of payment of your savings. Our vision is to be able to start to give dividends to our members for 2023, open an investment cooperative arm by the end of this year, which depends on our members' commitment, of course. To achieve this, we'll also invest in marketing. We'll invest a lot this year in marketing to increase membership. As you can see, last year we asked all you members to come with one person, and it's good that you invited them. That's why we have an open session right now. And attending events, we'll be attending events, and paper registration form will be coming up. A budget will be needed for this, as stated by will be stated by the treasurer in terms of marketing. The year 2023 is a year of prosperity and abundance. That's my vision. And we can only achieve this if we work together. I wish you all a prosperous 2023. Together we are strong. That's our motto. And God bless you all. And as we continue doing this in terms of building our Diaspora SACCO. Sorry about that. So yes, so we are going straight to the resolution from the first one. So as you heard from the first resolution, to give loans to members, we are ready now, active. The Quora app is as good as ready to go, and we will use the Quora app, and if the committee of credit committee is here, can confirm. I'm sure Milka is not able to talk. Are you able to talk, Milka? They are the credit committee. We have 3 credit committee we are going to confirm as well here, and we are ready. So we are going again to confirm by saying yes again on the chat, whether we confirm to start giving loans from this year. And don't forget, we have the policy as well on the website. Everything is ready to get us started. So kindly put on the chat, yes or no, we should start giving out loans. As you know, a SACCO is a SACCO only when we start business, when we start giving loans. So this, Honorable Secretary, kindly help me as well to monitor the yes on the chat.
Yeah.
Starting from 1922, that's when we started counting the votes from the last one. Which is, now that we want to give out loans, we need to confirm whether we start, and I'll ask the treasurer to also talk a little bit about why it's important. We have the borrowing powers from the cooperative bank. This means, as you have seen with our audit, when we don't have enough money to give you, when you all come at once, hopefully not, then we have the options of working with the cooperative bank. And I'll ask the treasurer to also mention a little bit about this if you are ready.
Okay. Now, what happens in SACCOs, you see, we are pooling resources so that we can lend. That is in form of savings. So when we do not have enough savings, And remember that the core business of the SACCO is to lend money. We can go to our investments. The money invested in interest earning accounts can be withdrawn to lend members. But at times you find that members will want more loans than the savings that we have. That is now when it calls you, even after withdrawing all the investments, that is now when you can borrow so that you can give a member the loans that they desire. I think that is clear.
Yeah, unless anyone have a question. One more clarification. Now we are going to have a new vice chair of the board selected, or many already, because we're in the third time, just to give you a big picture of the board, we are now going to the last part of our board members who are founders and the starters. Normally it's 3 years, and then later on is 1 year, and a third has to be changed in the board. So we are still using the same members, the board members. One of the board members is going to take up the role, and then the treasurer also has also requested as well. So we have also asked one of the board members to also step in as we move on to the 2023, and as we work on that. So we've already appointed one, so which will go to the next, which I'll ask which is part of, if you check, let me share the program so that it's easier for you to follow what we are talking about. Let me know whether you can see my screen. So Lydia, if you don't mind, we will just go to the next part where is also part of the third resolution, where we have to change the chairperson, the treasurer, and have to vote for the board members in our third term. So as you can see now, we are 5 of us, and I will be the chair. So Milka Moigai has been the interim for the vice chair, and also Judy Kageni, who will start slowly to take over the roles of the treasurer. And we have requested and have confirmed, but we need you members to vote and accept these are our own board members, this agreement that they will take over the roles. The treasurer is still there as a member, will be there to support. So kindly put up your hand if you have. I've seen somebody put up their hand or something, or okay, is that Alfreda? Was it there, or kindly put it down if it's not a new one? Hand raised up. So yeah, so that's the position right now. I'll ask the secretary if I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm sharing my screen. Sometimes I'm missing the people raising hands, but I'll look at it. Yeah, go ahead, and we move on to the elections part.
yeah, the confirmation of board members, that term, we have number 1, Joy Machugu, chairperson. The second, the Milka Mugai, the vice chair. Third is Lydia Maina, the secretary. 4th is Judy Kageni, the treasurer, and Hilda Oya, the board member. Those are the 5 members. So the other people to confirm the information is correct. I think, do we vote for all of them, or separately?
We start with the confirmation of the board members, because
Okay.
we had to change that. Kindly vote again on the chat, members. So that's confirmed. Good. So
we go to the next.
Yes. So what we'll do with the next, we'll bunch it up, because now all the ones that are up there, the 5, have been distributed to the in the different committees, and the minimum each can have 2. And these are they're already aware of it. As you can see, the finance now is going to be Judy, the chair, Lydia, as a part of the committee together with Hilda Hoyer. And then, as you can see down there as well, we have Milka, who will be the chair of the credit and risk management together with Judy and Lydia. Each is around 2 positions maximum. And also the Education and Governance Committee, which have been very busy in the beginning, and is going to pick up again as I hear a lot of members. Here we have Hilda Hoyer as the chairperson, myself, and Milka in that session. Because we are only 5, so if we agree all these people continue to do what they were doing, but there have been some changes of positioning. So please vote yes or no on the chat now. So we are working around the Finance Investment Committee and Resources and Administration, then Credit and Risk Management Committee, and then Education Governance Committee before we go to the, as well as, with the Supervisory Committee, who still stays the same, Nancy Gatone and Beatrice Kihoha and Agnes Folish. They still stay the same. So this 1, 2, 3, 4 position, kindly vote. Yes, let's do it.
Can we still vote for the advisory committee at once?
The advisory committee, yes, as well, we can do that as well. These are just to give you an idea. When from the discussion I gave a report, we need advisory committee. Advisory committee, they're either members or people from outside, just to give you bigger concepts. So Caroline Cherotich, you remember, was our trainer who trained all the board members, and she's a very useful input for us when even writing the policies. We are working with their company to do all those policies, as we have seen there. John Minor still say there, our also advisory committee to help us also with the finance, not with the finance, but guiding through the new the new treasurer, along as handing over. And then we have Omar Farah, is a former chair of Kata SACCO. So for me, this is a very important person, also learning from also other SACCOs, guiding through what are the way to bring the SACCO forward, and learning from others as well. So these are completely a different group, which also acts advisory committee can have in people from outside. They are not member. 2 of them are not member, but 1 of them is a member. Great. So I think I wanted to explain that separately, but go ahead. John, yes, go ahead. Thank you, everyone. So we are going now to our guest of honor, the most exciting part. I'm very happy you've been patient with us, holding on, and I think you've heard and listened to and also the members. I can see some members there. I want to acknowledge you. We are seeing your questions, and we're gonna go through it shortly, but let's give our honorable guest honor here to join us, especially from the cooperative. I want to welcome Officer Mr. Anthony Morethi. Thank you also as well for being there right from the beginning, guiding us as well. So the stage is yours to give us your remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair, your board members. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize the presence of Deputy Head of Mission, Ambassador Esther Mungai, and Director Eugene Makoha, State Department of Diaspora Affairs. Mine are just around 8 remarks. Number 1, I want to congratulate our SACCO. We were registered 2 years, 6 months ago. And I want to say that you're a fast growing SACCO. You've been able to comply with the regulation by the presentation of the audited accounts. Last year, you did your AGM on 19th of June 2022. Today, we've made some improvement. We've done it on 30th of April 2023, which is quite commendable. The law talks that states that all SACCO are supposed to do their AGM by 30th of April. So I want to thank you for that. And let us try to be operating within the legal framework. You have stated that you have a vision. Number one is giving members loans. You also talked about partnership. And last but not least, about homes. I think that's a very wonderful vision. And I can foresee that our way will be a one-stop shop for all the financial needs of your members. So what is required is teamwork, that we all work together, we all contribute, and we all ensure that we safeguard our SACCO. I also want to congratulate the team that has been confirmed to the office. I want to believe they're up to the task. And also the supervisory committee that has been put in place. Supervisory committee, it's a requirement that every cooperative, whether it be a SACCO, bucketing, housing, they should have a supervisory committee. It's a they are more or less internal auditors. Before the external comes in, they're the ones who are supposed to ensure that the society is operating within the legal framework and within our members' resolutions and all the laws that pertains to the running of the SACCO. Just a small example, we've heard about the unidentified banking. So the supervisory committee are supposed to be checking and ensuring that each and every shilling or euro we are able to account for it, so that doesn't appear in our auditors. Maybe some of the highlights from our department is that the department has come up with guidelines for deposit guarantee funds have already been developed. Those are similar like what we have in the financial institution. And the deposit guarantee fund will enable compensation of members' deposits in the event of a SACCO collapsing. But we're not praying for that. This move will restore public confidence in SACCO and reassure members of safety of their deposits. Of course, we'll start with those cooperatives that are regulated by SASRA. And since we have started journeying together, I want to believe that as time goes by, we'll be able to meet those requirements so that we can be able to be supervised by SASRA. We have already established fraud investigation unit, which is domiciled at SASRA to deter misappropriation of SACCO members. This one is already operationalized. And we are also in this process of operationalization of the central liquidity facility. This will enable society participate in the national payment system, like what we have in the commercial banks, interborrowing among SACCOs, and sharing of ICT services. And credit information sharing among deposit-taking SACCO, which will assist in mitigation risk in loan delinquency in SACCOs. So when we have this kind of sharing information, if a member defaults in a certain SACCO, if or he intends to come to a SACCO, and we be sharing those kind of information, we'll be able even to know the risk, the credit worthiness of our members. Because from a report, I've heard that we want to open our membership. But sometimes we may not know all our members, we may not know their background, we may not know their credit, what do you call them? Some of their credit points. So once we are regulated by SASRA, we shall be able to access all this information so that whoever we bring on board, we're able to, as much as we have the loan credit in place, we'll also have extra information about our members. So last but not least, I want to request that maybe in the near future, we need to have another engagement with all our members, like an education forum. I know you've been having some of the forums, but maybe you can invite even other players, our State Department, the banks, the cooperative bank, maybe where you intend to borrow, and other stakeholders, so that at least we share more. Because in an AGM like today, we are somehow restricted to the agendas, and we don't want to turn the AGM into another education session. So with those remarks, Chair, I want to say I'm impressed by your team. We are really moving fast in terms of technology, and I think that is the future. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all those points, and of course, we'll put that into action. And we also appreciate your time, making time to join us. And we'll continue engaging with the cooperative as we have always been. It's a very important body for us, and hope to get also trainings from the cooperative that which has been on the bill, hoping that we get also trainings that we can also invite our board members or from the cooperative side, because it can tend to be very expensive when SACCOs have to pay for these trainings. So it's something that we look forward in the future, but we have been working very closely as well. So thank you so much for that. And I'll go next to our, I've given opportunity for our guests as co-hosts. I hope this one will allow you to share your camera. We have been having an issue with putting on your camera. We have been able to activate that for whatever reason, but kindly try, I've given you co-hosts so that we go to the next speaker as you try that. That is our Deputy Head of Mission, Ambassador Dr. Esther Nyambura Mungai. And I'm very happy to have you here representing especially the diasporans, the Kenyan diaspora in Germany, where I am. Very soon we'll be inviting also others, although we are open to Europe members anywhere. And I want to recognize your presence. I hope you can hear me well. I want to give you the stage now to give your remarks. And try whether you see your video can come up. If not, we'll just continue.
Hello, Joy. Let me probably just start. If it comes, it's okay. Thank you very much. And maybe I should start by appreciating these efforts, and especially also my co-speakers. That is Anthony Muredi, and thank you very much for the guidance. I listened briefly, but I could tell that this group is in the right hands listening to you. I also want to appreciate the presence of Director, Diaspora Representative Eugene Makoha. Thank you for the kind of support that you continue to accord as a State Department to our Kenya diaspora in Germany. So good afternoon, members of diaspora in Europe, represented by Africa Women in Europe, and especially our Diaspora SACCO for this particular meeting. It is my great pleasure for sure to make a remark or a few remarks on this meeting. Let me start by congratulating you for taking the bold step in daring to venture into the Diaspora SACCO with all its complexities. I'm actually very impressed, and we appreciate these efforts as an embassy as a government unit, because they go a long way in enhancing and increasing the diaspora remittances, which of course is much needed to drive the economic growth of our country. At the onset, maybe I need to mention or to emphasize the significance that our government places on our diaspora. And this is evidenced by the recent establishment of a fully fledged State Department for Diaspora Affairs within the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs by His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Ruto. The German diaspora in particular was very privileged to have a meeting with the president recently, and also to have a physical one-on-one with a principal secretary, Diaspora Affairs, during the recent official visit by the president and the team. So the diaspora community indeed is an undisputed resource, and the government understands the integral contribution by the diaspora in economic development. So the government of Kenya has therefore made diaspora a key pillar of its foreign policy. And the State Department of Diaspora Affairs, much as I know we have Eugene Makoha, who will talk more on diaspora, so I do not even wish to go into that area. That is his technical area. Is that the Diaspora Affairs Department will continue then to act as the interface between the government of Kenya and the diaspora in all the countries where our diaspora is. And of course, manage the affairs of the diaspora, both at the national level and at the county levels. So the role of the embassy, therefore, is envisaged as that of trying to enhance and deepen the relationship between the diaspora and the diaspora and the country of origin, which is Kenya here. Of course, not forgetting that when we talk about diaspora, and especially here, almost in every case, they have two roots. They have the original roots, that is the Kenyan roots, and in this case also the German roots. And we actually want to harness the entire diaspora, whether we have those that have naturalized here or not. So we want to install the confidence, that is the role of the embassy, to install the confidence through openness and sharing of information, so that we are able, we continue to eliminate the long-standing suspicion and animosity between diaspora and the government, or diaspora and the embassy. And this commitment is evidenced by, of course, the efforts that you see the government undertaking in trying to actually reach out to the diaspora. We want to improve also the relationship, and to synergize development collaborations through the diaspora's already established networks for sustainable development projects back at home, and listening to the dream and the vision that the SACCO, and in particular this Airway SACCO, has. When you talk about even owning, for example, in future, homes or housing, I'm sure you probably notice that you would be contributing to the much needed sector of housing, which is part of the bottom-up transformational agenda of the government's current administration. And that is really one of the things that we really want to leverage on. Of course, as we harness this relationship, we keep saying it's a common statement that you only do business where there is trust, and that the best business is that which starts with friendship. So we want to optimize this relationship, this trust, this openness, and as a result or consequently optimize remittances from the diaspora and use of these remittances by maybe engaging or involving diaspora to look critically at or persuading them to look critically at the priority development agenda for our mother countries. For example, I've mentioned about the bottom-up or the beta, priority agenda, where you can decide or pick one of the government priorities to partner with government in terms of, developing, partnering in its development programs, taking one of the priority agendas and in channeling or coming up with programs of channeling your investments in that particular line. I remember when the president was here last time, there was a proposal that soon they would request to consider rolling out an infrastructure, for example, board or a diaspora board. And probably, again, that forms another very important channel to really channel your investments or your savings. Then, of course, the other our key mandate also is also to protect, to promote, and safeguard your interest. And as we do that, also try to ignite your interest to become more involved in government programs or in the development of our countries, our mother country. So with all this, then we hope that once all this is done, you'll be more encouraged to support the government through the relevant departments in harnessing and mainstreaming the remittances in its national development programs. And continually, of course, we urge you to continually engage the embassy as you engage other, government departments, and so that because the embassy, the work of the embassy is to purely just provide a platform through which the Kenyan diaspora and the government can engage and work together for the development of our country. I am happy because our group, whether as a SACCO or as in the rest of its program, is continuously inviting the embassy and updating the embassy on what they're doing. And I want to apologize that we have not always managed to present ourselves, but we hope to be more involved in future, and we want to thank you. So thank you very much, and I want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. I'm very happy to receive the comments from to hear the comments from Anthony that this group, this SACCO, is growing very fast, that it has complied with the regulations. And I want to congratulate you on that, because one of the things that that keep people from association is mistrust, lack of integrity and transparencies that are probably anchored in dysfunctional, units, or lack of, compliances in regulations. So with this, I want to really just stop there and thank you once again for even listening to me and for the opportunity to make the remark. And as I exit, let me just say that I bring the apologies of Ambassador Thomas Amolo. He's away traveling today to Kenya. So he would have wished to be with you. I hope next time he'll be able to join you. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. We give you thanks. I hope the others with the video are also thanking you. And we appreciate your time. And as you know, we have always been involving the embassy, and I'm happy that they've sent a representative and pass our regards to Honorable Ambassador Molo, that it's good that they recognize institutions like ours that are really doing a big change or looking forward to add more big change in the country in a very direct way as diaspora, and an institution that is governed as well and regulated heavily. I can tell you that. It's to keep all these rules and regulations and governance of Kenya has been a really interesting journey as a chair as well. I have to say I have learned a lot, and we want to encourage that you also put our website also on your platform. Yeah, that's something you can pass on to the embassy so that people are aware that there is this the SACCO existing away, which we noticed in the last event. Yes, finally we can see.
Finally.
Yes, I had already activated it. It's good to see the face, and maybe we can have that. You can respond to that we want members to come, because last time also when the president came, I did visit and I did mention to the member, but most of them looked very surprised. They don't know that it existed, and yet we try our best in marketing, which we are putting more effort this year. So one of the effort is to make sure that the embassy puts our website, and we can confirm here with from the commissioner, from the cooperative commissioner, that we are existing, and it's important to also that maybe you can pass that regard to the office.
Yeah, I will. We can look into it, and I also invite you into the office to come and discuss with us so that we can see how to go about it. Of course, we would be more than happy to list within the website as part of the activities that our diaspora are involved in, because that helps to actually enhance and increase and encourage people to do the savings. The reason why I'm more excited about the savings is because when you save, and literally you're saving in Kenya, remember, you are sending money from Europe to save in Kenya. That is a diaspora remittance. And right now, the diaspora remittances is among the topmost, foreign exchange earner. So for us, we want the money back into our country. We want the money being channeled towards development. And therefore, if you can get more and more savings and remittances back into the country, we'll be doing our central mandate. Yeah.
Thank you, and that's why we're happy that we finally have you here to really witness that what we are doing and give it at a conference. Thank you so much for that, and nice to see you again on video, and everybody else who is coming in. I'll try to do the same so that the video is activated again as a co-host. Thank you so much, and stay with us as well. And now we go to our last guests, and I have to say we are very lucky. The SACCO, we got in a lot of 2 guests of honor, and especially from the newly Department of the Diaspora Affairs. We're here joined by Director Eugene Makoha, and he's here to really represent the diaspora. This was a request from the PS that we wanted one of you here to also tell us why SACCOs are here, and also the members who are listening, they are also aware of the SACCO. We have a screen, I've seen your video is up, but we have a back stage. Maybe you can come closer to the camera, then it will pick up on your side. So the stage is yours. Yes, you can unmute. You're muted at the moment. The camera is on, but we don't see you because we need you closer to the camera. Maybe it will pick you up, or remove the background, if that's also will help on your side, or from the camera side. You can remove the background.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The chairperson, the Board of Management, Ambassador Dr. Esther Nyambura Mungai, the Deputy Head of Mission, Kenya Mission Berlin, Mr. Anthony Moreide, representative of the Office of the Commission of Cooperatives, the diaspora community, ladies and gentlemen, good in Kenya is evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, allow me to make a few remarks on behalf of my Principal Secretary, Madam Rosalind Kathure Njogu. She's unable to be here with you this evening. Actually, she would have loved so much to be here with you, but unfortunately, given whatever is going on, the evacuation of our nationals from the Republic of the Sudan, she's unable to do so, and therefore has detailed that at least I make a presence to show the importance we attach to this exercise. Now, I would like to thank my co-guest, Ambassador Dr. Esther Nyambura, for making a presence. These are our front runners and our eyes on the ground. We look forward to a lot of cooperation. We keep the ground running. His Excellency the President and our PS was there, and we look forward to doing a lot with the embassy and even with AWE. We are glad that you are among the front runners. In other places, we are trying to come up with activities where we'll be dragging our colleague Anthony Moreidi to go along and give education so that they can come together and form an entity. But that is after we've done away with the suspicion they have. The suspicious eyes they look at.
I think we lost you. Mr. Makoha, we can't hear you. Is this just me or we've lost? Milka, can you hear Mr. Makoha?
We've lost him.
Okay.
No, I can't hear him.
Oh,
Oh, he's back. Yeah, he's back.
Okay, we can hear you now, maybe probably, but I haven't heard anything yet. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear
Yes.
you. We can hear you now.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, my apologies for that. It's raining and I think the connection is a bit erratic. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I must say I'm actually impressed and excited about the organization I've seen today. The picture I had of AGMs, people shouting, diaspora, they seem more diplomatic than we expected. What we've seen today actually gives us an impetus and believe that indeed the diaspora can be organized into a formidable force to reckon with. As a State Department, we are delighted that we are beginning to see some semblance of a vehicle or a framework for investment, for diaspora investment, FDI, and remittances. The State Department was formed on a 6-point mandate as envisaged by the Executive Order number 1 of 2022 and its successor number 1 of 2023, notably promotion of continuous engagement and dialogue with the Kenyans abroad, champion protection of Kenyan diaspora rights and welfare, support Kenyans in the diaspora in harnessing more opportunities for employment and enterprise development, develop incentives, framework for diaspora remittances, harness diaspora savings, facilitate FDI and technology transfer, and lastly, mainstreaming the Kenyan diaspora in national development. The last three is what I want to speak upon. Developing incentive framework for diaspora remittance, and next diaspora saving, what you're doing, facilitate FDI and technology transfer, and mainstreaming the diaspora into national development. Chair, am I still there? Hello? Am I still there while I'm speaking alone?
Yes, we can hear you clear, loud and clear.
Okay, I was getting worried.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Well, one of the things I'll comment you about is that from this AGM, I've seen at least a resolution on commencement of giving loans to members, as well as efforts to giving borrowing powers to the SACCO to borrow from cooperative bank. Part of the things we are looking at in the near and distant future is at least to see that the diaspora are able to grow in terms of opportunities, that we see diaspora remittances increase. They organize themselves into investments vehicles such as the SACCO and create frameworks for investment in government bonds, government infrastructure bonds, infrastructure, and even welfare. Not welfare, but diaspora foundations. I want to believe that the borrowing that you're envisaging, that the diaspora will be able to invest both locally and abroad. And locally meaning in Kenya that what we are going to see is we'll see investment beyond the ordinary supporting of family members, households. Though this is not to say that supporting the family is not important, because from the M-Pesa remittances, we've been able to see that family members are able to meet the education needs, health needs, repayment of loans, and many of the basic needs, things that would have otherwise called for Harambee. And this is quite impressive. But we want to see that the diaspora moves beyond the welfare. Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, we want to see that the diaspora grows beyond welfare, supporting households at home, and the common BBA, barrier and benevolent funds, which is common where they organize themselves to bring our loved ones back home from the diaspora, to robust investment vehicles that can participate in national development. We would like to see the diaspora look for opportunities back at home, real estates, especially bonds and bills, securities, and also technology transfer. At the height of this exercise, we'd want to see possibly in the distant, in the middle or distant future, being able to see diaspora come up with a foundation and conduct charitable exercises, both individually and collectively. We are looking at a situation possibly in future we'll have the diaspora that can look back, whether individual or collectively, fund infrastructure in schools they went to in your villages, health facilities in your villages, energy, clean energy, sponsor water ponds for those from dry areas and animal resource, etc., etc. Yeah. Also, in terms of technology transfer, the State Department is in the near future going to roll out a plan on diaspora mapping for skills. This will enable us to identify the skill gaps and explore how best these skills can be harnessed back at home. This, by extension, will see the facilitation of diaspora returnee programs, as well as the transferability of social security. The State Department will love to see that the diaspora is not a scared lot of returning home, whether earlier or in the sunset years. And to this, we are working to see that the transfer of skills and transferability of social security will ensure that diaspora returnees get a safe landing when they get back home. So as a State Department, we are looking forward to working closely with you in tapping into this important resource for national development. Key to this will be to ensure that both at the headquarters and at the embassies will remain reachable, transparent, responsive, be able to protect the diaspora as well as direct, guide, and manage the output from this important constituency. Having said much, possibly you'll allow me to stop at that point and congratulate the new office holders. This is quite commendable. Don't be surprised when we'll be running to you coming for benchmarking, learning the best practices and going and replicating them elsewhere. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Awe.
Thank you so much. I love to hear some of the points you put there. Very enticing for a SACCO, of course, and a SACCO like ours. And maybe just to emphasize, we are supporting entrepreneurs. They are bottom up. That's what the whole idea of the SACCO, supporting women and men in businesses. This is the area we are really looking forward to work with Kenyans as well, to borrow in the borrowing power as well in the loans and being members as well. So I hear quite a lot of things that we are going to work also in the future, and also the bond that was also mentioned earlier by Honorable Ambassador Esther, that there is a government board coming. This is quite interesting for us as SACCO. We want to invest in that. We have the money, so we are able to invest. Because what I always tell the member, the government bonds help the government in terms of really creating the infrastructure that the country want. Instead of going to borrow China or I don't know where else, they can start first of all with our SACCOs. And being one of the youngest SACCO, we even have quite SACCOs with a lot of money that are able to really maximize that opportunities of the government bond whenever it will begin. So thank you so much, and we are looking forward to working with you as well. I know I've been appointed in one of the committee to deal with the SACCOs. As we know, we have a group of all the SACCO leaders that I also help a lot in terms of, we help each other as well in terms of navigating the institution, which is quite complicated, but it's easier when we are working together. We have a group of SACCOs, and we'll be working with the team as well, together with the corporate team, a committee that was put together. So thank you so much, and pass our regards to the PS, and we're looking forward to more and more engagement with her. So thank you so much. So just I can see we are just about to finish, and we are just a little bit past our timing, and going to the next part of vote of thanks, closing up now. I hope Milka is there, who is our newly now elected vice chair. It's a good opportunity to hear your voice. I hope you're able to talk now. Let me know and have your video also on to know the vice chair, some of the ladies, but I know you all know her. And I want, first of all, let me know if you can hear me, Milka.
Yes, Joy, I can hear you. Let me see if I can get it on here. I think I'm
So I give you the chance to give vote of thanks as I close up thereafter.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joy. And thank you to everybody who's attended today. It's been an actually amazing AGM, very productive, very informative, and also very well organized, Joy. You've done it very well. So I just want to say thank you very much to Joy. Her leadership has been exceptional. She has worked tirelessly. And Joy, we honestly, we are grateful. We are grateful for all the effort that you put, everything that you put together, running after everybody, trying to get things working. When in Kenya, when we go to Kenya, we go on holiday, but you actually take part of your holiday to go and get the SACCO working. So it does not go unnoticed. And we are really, really grateful. And on behalf of everybody in AW SACCO, we want to say thank you very much. And we also want to say, I want to say thank you very much for the guests, the Deputy Head of Missions, Dr. Esther Nyambura, and the Director of State Department, Mr. Eugene Makoha. We thank you very much for your support. It's amazing that you have come to support us as Africa, AWE actually is Diaspora SACCO, which actually came from Africa Women in Europe. When Joy talked about bottom up, really that is where we started. We started by empowering the women. Every woman, no matter what, as long as you are African, we would empower you, and each of us would bring what we had, and we would build one another, and it's grown and grown and grown. And so many other things have come out of it, which have really benefited. We've seen people start up their own organizations. We have seen somebody actually did a PhD, using our organization, and we have seen so many people benefit because we also have awards. So there's so much that's come out of it, and it's amazing when you start something how far you can go. And then here we have a SACCO. It's been a journey, I agree, and we want to thank you very much, Mr. Anthony Muredi and your team from the cooperative. You have been a great support. We have had our own hitches, not knowing whether are we with SASRA, are we with the cooperative, but now we have direction, and because we have direction now, we can move at a faster speed. I wouldn't say we have moved as fast as we would have liked to, but everything, there's a reason for everything, and through all this, we've all grown. And so I would like to encourage all the members. Now we know where we're going, and we just need to go for it. Go and spread the word about the SACCO. Let everybody know what we are doing. Let them know the benefits, not only for you directly, but also as the deputy head of the mission said, we are remitting money back to Kenya. Therefore, we are participating in the growth of our nation. And I think when you look at the bigger picture, you really want to join some of these organizations like the SACCOs, because it's really building our nation, and it's amazing. When you go and you drive on those roads, we are happy. And we say we are grateful for where Kenya is going, and we know there will be so much more. I also want to thank all the team members, the secretary, the treasurer, all the members, all the committee members. Thank you very much for tirelessly working and being patient with us. We are all new to the SACCO, but my goodness, we have learned. We have learned a lot, and through education, and these are skills we can pass to other people. And it's amazing when you just give yourself how much you can learn and grow as a person. I've grown a lot, and I'm looking forward to this new appointment. And with the help of God, we'll do our best and take the SACCO to the next level. So I want to thank even all those who are listening as guests. If you're not a member, I want to encourage you, come on board, join us. Just go to www.aws Diaspora SACCO.eu. Joy, I think you've put the link there. And please become a member. Go on our website. There's so much there. Read about it. Get in touch with us. We'll be happy to answer all your questions. And we welcome you aboard. We are a team of women and men. It's not only women. So please, gentlemen, you're all welcome. And thank you very much. And we just thank God for this far He's brought us. And we have a great expectation that this year we shall be more productive and more successful than ever before. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you. Thank you. You heard from the vice chair. I'm so happy to have powerful lady like her and all our board members. I can tell you the hours for the 3 years before SACCO started and 3 years now. You're talking about 6 years journey, right? It has been a very beautiful journey before and after, and it takes time, it takes a lot of energy, and even our members, I cannot underestimate your work, because without you and your savings and being part of all this, we will not be here. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. The listeners who are listening now, we're going to put this out there for you to also listen again on our platform on YouTube as soon as we finish. And we'll be able to really reach out to us now that you know us. I've shared the website there. There's an email. You can reach out to us. And I can see some questions that were put there from the other listeners. And I want to go just through them a little bit. And I know most of you, we know we are very appetizing SACCOs to so many institutions there outside. We get lots of emails from you wanting to work with that. Of course, SACCOs are run by a board. We have to have a meeting with our board. We have to discuss whether it's the vision, do a lot of due diligence. And if you have never been in any SACCO, the due diligence that is done before we work with you, it's amazing. And that's why it makes SACCO strong. And we also have to work with the cooperative to really help us, especially when you're in the diaspora. We are not aware of all the institutions we need to get to even do an extra mile to make that. So I can see there, Peter, you have been writing to us for Kimora. I'll reach out to you. You have shared with us information there, and I think we are happy to know that I think it's a bank, if I'm right, SIB, and we're gonna reach out to you as well and see what opportunities you have, and also put you on the board member. This is not one-man show. It's a full organization here, and that's the beauty about the SACCOs. And I've also recognized, my name is Tony Mutai, welcome as well. Our diaspora member, welcome as well. If you want to join us, I work for a local investment bank as well. You're all welcome, guys. You can always email us. Our email is admin, I'll put it there, admin@awesacco.com. It's admin. When you send us all your information, we'll be able to read that. So we are not ignoring you, but we are acknowledging you here, and we'll be following up with all your services. I know there's so much of us can hear. We are growing. We are not yet really exposed out there with so much, but we are happy to know what is there outside, what we can also practice as well. So yes, and as I heard also from the Ministry of Cooperative, we should continue having meetings with institutions like yours. So we will be reaching out to you as well to hear what options you have there as well. So I've shared my email. Feel free to reach out to us. Can you please share the app you are speaking about from Margaret Gitau? I joined the SACCO, but don't know how to send and keep tabs on my contribution. We'll reach out to you, Margaret. I wonder why you're not here in the discussion here with us with the voting. Unfortunately, probably you didn't get the link for members. If you're a member, I'll reach out, pin me on our group so that I can guide you, because we had a training on this purposely for the app. We had our member coming to train. We're going to redo this because the app has been upgraded. It's become very popular, and we're going to share with you more on that. So I want to thank everyone who have come. And unfortunately, yes, the chat was closed. I can see another comment there. Just to make sure, as you saw, it's a very intense AGM. We need voting. We needed to coordinate this in a more organized way so that we get the right votings in. But we left the question and answer for you to ask any question, and you can email us anytime. So I want to thank everyone who made time to be here. And as we're going to the closer now, I want to again emphasize the two words we have: it's a prosperous year, abundance year. So please, we are looking forward to your contribution done regularly. We'll be following that very, very, very closely from now on. And I ask you all members, please read your savings and policy. We'll be following very, very strictly from now on to make sure that we are really delivering what we want to do. And if you have any issues, reach out to us. Yeah, we are humans. We have situations. We need a break. We have all these situations that come, and we accept that, and we give you a break and somewhere to breathe, and then you continue again. It's something that we accept also as a SACCO. So reach out to us anytime that you have issues that in regards to your payment. And for now, just to close the meeting, thank you everyone for coming. And the next AGM will be again next year, hopefully before April. This last time we did, by the way, we did in June because we still had so many issues to be cleared before the AGM, but we have always very punctual. It will be exactly a little bit probably earlier or not, and so we'll keep again to the next AGM. If there's a need of SDM, also is another meeting that if there is a need, we'll call you for that. Otherwise, we'll follow up with trainings with all the members, and let's use the WhatsApp chat for any issues, any questions. We are ready to help you as members as well. So thank you so much, and I wish you a good evening. And we are going to close with a word of prayer. Is Judy there? Please let me know. Then you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please. And unfortunately, we can't see you, but go ahead.
My video is on, but I don't know.
Yes, you have a background. Come closer to the camera.
Okay. Hope you can all hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm Judy Kageni. As you have heard, I have a new appointment as a treasurer, ready to work. I'm so grateful that it has been a journey when we started, from where we started until now. We thank God that we have learned a lot and also still learning, and there's so much to catch up. So I'm so happy that the team has been working so hard day and night to make sure that the SACCO stands strong. So so thankful also for the visitors and all our visitors. We are so grateful for taking your time to come and also be part of us. These I call it a young SACCO, and I'm sure we are going somewhere. We started small, and we are getting more members joining, and we'd also like to encourage, spread the news to other people, tell them we have a young SACCO that is growing, and we also grow with them. So I want to encourage our members, continue supporting this SACCO. We'll work hand in hand with you for success. And we are so grateful. Let us pray, because God has, as we started well. So even as we end, we shall end with a prayer. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this wonderful moment that, Father, you have reached us up to this time, even for the hours that we have been together. sharing. We thank you, Lord, because of this journey. And I ask you, Lord, even to continue helping us and also guiding us on the best way we can do to stand with this circle and also to grow this circle in your will, oh Lord. We want to thank you for each and every person who participated in this. And we want to say that, Father, may you continue blessing them, even increasing them, even supplying all their needs. We thank you, Lord, even for the new members who wish to join. We ask you, Lord, even to give us wisdom as we encourage others to join. You also continue helping us to move in the right way and to work as a team. We thank you, Lord, and we worship you. Even as we go to sleep and others, I know for sure we are just a difference of few hours, and we ask you, Lord, to protect us throughout the night. This is our prayer of faith, for it is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
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 Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone, and I wish you a good evening, and may God bless you all. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you very much.